Shalom. Before I begin this video, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Brachah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule very well to this very day, that is feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, and also as well, likewise, a Shalom to the whole elect that's continuing to labor in this work and do labor to spread this gospel to the other members of the whole elect in faith, in truth, sincerity, and all charity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled, "The Stars of Heaven Continue to Fall." Okay, and this is in regards to, our people, specifically the southern tribes of the nation of Israel, which are you so-called Negroes, in which, if you've been noticing, as the year draws to a close, we've been seeing a lot more judgments rain down on our people, all right, and not just any old Jake, and you do have Israelites that get put to death day in and day out, but you have top celebrities and people that are famous that are also getting laid out left and right, okay? And that just goes to show you that the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who these people inwardly call God, and Jesus, in whom they believe that he's a power that does not do any evil whatsoever, or believing that death is not caused by him. The Lord of the Bible, all right, the God of our people, Israel, is responsible for the deaths of which you see right now, and rightfully so, because the ones who are in high esteem, the ones who are famous and have some sort of celebrity status here in America, they already received their consolation, they already received their heaven, their reward, and now it's time for them to be put to death. Okay, it was a time to where they had their little position in America, in Babylon the Great, but now it's time for them to fall. Okay, and it's time for the elect of the nation of Israel to rise. Okay, it's time for the elect now to rise up in our proper position, which Lord's will, we're a part of that number, and we're going to be set up in high esteem. We're going to have the highest position on the planet Earth, in which really, if you know this word and you believe and you're able to go into the scriptures and break them down and understand this, all right, in meekness and in truth and sincerity, then you already have an office that's above every other office here on the planet Earth, because the highest office that is stated in the scriptures is the office of an apostle. Okay, because if you go into the word apostle, it means sent away or sent forth. Okay, and Yahushua has sent forth his apostles, like the scriptures say. The Lord has sent forth the apostles last. Okay, and that's what you see. The apostles have been sent out last in these times. Okay, because the apostles are the prophets. All right, and the seat of a prophet, you're the closest. You're in a closest relationship with the Heavenly Father than which is closer than any other person on the planet Earth. Okay, the prophets have a close connection with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, who is the power of all, man. Okay, the creators of the heaven and earth. Okay, and on the flip side, you have guys that are in some sort of position in the world, in America. Okay, and they have a closer relationship and connection to the left-hand side, who are the super rich, of these Edomites, all right, in which Edom is the true biblical nationality of the so-called white man, okay? And really they have a closer connection to death, okay? So it's no surprise that they will get taken out, okay? Because they serve death. And death is waiting at the doors of each and every single individual Israelite who has given themselves over to the image of the beast, okay? And that worship the image of the beast, okay? And ultimately that's going to lead up to them accepting the mark of the beast, okay, which is the microchip. So I'm going to go ahead and jump to the precepts I have here. I got a few I want to bring out just to get edification concerning the stars of heaven, all right? Because if you look at today here in America and Babylon the Great, this is heaven towards the workers of iniquity, okay? They're already living in their heaven. Like I mentioned earlier, this is their consolation. Okay, so they received their heaven, all right? This is their paradise. Okay, now this is the book of Daniel chapter 8. And this is verse, let's see, Slack here. All right, it's Daniel chapter 8. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says that out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land. Okay. Now, if you go into the scriptures in this particular prophecy of this vision that Daniel was seeing, that little horn that proceeded out of the he-goat, all right, because the he-goat represents, or the he-goat which which was strong and had the great horn. That great horn represents Alexander the Great, all right, because that goat represents the Greek Empire, and through Alexander, the Greek Empire came into power, all right, and then the horn was broken. In other words, he died, all right, and then there came forth 4 notable ones, which are his generals, okay, and if you read on, right, it speaks about the pleasant land, and the pleasant land is what? Israel, okay, the land of Israel, Jerusalem. All right, verse 10, it says, and it waxed great, even to the host of heaven, and it cast down some of the host of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. All right, and who are the stars? Okay, the stars represent Israel. Now, the ones who are residing in that land during that time, those were the southern tribes, all right, primarily. All right, you did have tribes, some of the tribes, you know, some of the people of the tribes of the northern kingdom that was still there, that was living amongst the southern kingdom. Okay, but the majority that was there, they were Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. All right. So again, like it says here, that some of the hosts of the stars were cast to the ground, and they were stamped upon. Okay. And when the scripture says this, basically the Israelites that were there, that were residing during that time, they were they got into subjection, or they were put under subjection under the Greek and the Roman Empire, and the nation of Israel became a vassal state. You know, Jerusalem became a vassal state towards the Greek Empire going to the Roman Empire. Okay. So I'm gonna move on from there, since we got the understanding on that. There's another one I want to grab. It's the book of should be the book of Jude. Yeah, here it is. It's the book of Jude, chapter 1, and I'm gonna start at verse 11. It says, "Woe unto them, for they have gone in the way of Cain." Okay. Now we already know who Cain is, man. Okay. Because Cain now is ruling on the planet Earth today. Because Cain, in his time, he killed Abel, his brother. Okay, and then afterwards, through a process of time, he returned back in the reincarnation, if you can receive it, as Esau. And that same hatred that he had towards his brother was still there. Okay? And the children of Esau, who are the Edomites, are ruling today. So the children of Cain are here today, and they're in rulership. And you have certain Israelites, which is nothing new, because going back to the time of the Greek and the Roman Empire, you had Israelites that willingly took on the ways of the Greeks and the Romans and consented to their laws. And the same thing is happening today. You have certain Israelites that are going in the way of the children of Cain and taking on their ways just to have some sort of status in a seat. Okay? So again, it says, woe unto them, for they have gone the way of Cain and ran greedily after the error of Balaam for reward and perished in the gainsaying of Kor. These are spots in your feasts of charity. When they feast with you, feeding themselves, it's like feeding themselves without fear. Clouds, they are without water, carried about of winds, trees whose fruit withereth, without fruit, twice dead, plucked by the roots. And it's the point. Raging waves of the sea, foaming out their own shame, wandering stars, to whom is reserved the blackness of darkness forever. Okay? And not only is it going to, 2/3 of our people, but included in that is those that know that they're Hebrew Israelites, but yet they still latch on to the ways of Esau. Okay? Yeah, they might know that they're Hebrew Israelites, all right, and they attempt to teach the doctrine of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I say attempt because they don't know the 100% doctrine. I'm talking about these other Israelite camps. Okay? These guys that call themselves Hebrew Israelites, but yet they're lacking the oil. They're lacking the understanding of the Bible. Okay? And you see their works, and their works that they do, and what they put into practice, it goes completely against what the scriptures tell us to do. It goes against what Yahweh Shai straightly commanded us to do. Okay, and how to conduct ourselves in this truth. Okay, so to these wandering stars is reserved blackness of darkness forever. Okay, the judgment is reserved for these individuals, man. Okay, grab another piece up. All right, now bring out this other precept for edification's sake, because again, this is the reason why the stars of heaven, of this heaven, okay, which is this kingdom, this is the reason why they're falling, because the Most High has allowed judgment to be put on these certain Israelites to be put to death. Okay. And it's not a coincidence the reason why they're put to death. It's always a reason why you have Israelites that are put to death, man. It's not out of, bad luck or, a stroke of bad luck, or, they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, these Israelites, these ones that are put to death, these celebrities, all right, they're at the right place at the right time to get taken out. Okay, Psalms chapter 68, verse 20. He that is our power is the power of salvation. And unto the Most High, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, belong the issues from death. Okay? Grab another one. All right, Job chapter 4, verse 7. It says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? Okay? So according to the people, they would probably think that this guy was a good person. He was a good man, this and that and the third. But guess what? The Most High didn't see it that way. Okay? That's why it says here, whoever perished being innocent, and where were the righteous cut off? So where was the righteous cut off? Okay? So if this man was a good person or whatever, then, you know, he wouldn't have been cut off. He wouldn't have been put to death. But guess what? It stands to this day that he's not. All right? He's wicked just like any other 2/3 Israelite. Okay? And we're going to continue to push the notion of the 1/3 and the 2/3. Okay? Because Israel still is under that spell, thinking that the whole nation of Israel is going to be delivered in this time. Okay? But no, there's a reason why 2 parts of Israel is going to be cut off and die, pursuant to Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. Okay? But that's all I want to bring out in this precept. Again, man, to let you know that judgment is continually running. All right? Especially when we get closer and closer to the end of the so-called year. And you're going to start to see a lot more celebrities get judged. All right? Boosie got his judgment, all right? He's about to lose his leg after getting shot at King Von. He got put to death, all right? And we about to see another person get put to death, man, all right? I wouldn't be surprised if it's happened sooner rather than later, man, okay? Knowing how crazy this year has been. And let you know the Lord is working, man. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and close out on that note. Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well to this day. Shalom, peace and safety, salutations to the whole elect. Continue laboring in this work, continually plowing, showing your diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith, in truth, sincerity, and all charity. And with that, I'm going to say shalom.